Welcome, climate viewers. My name is Jim Lee from ClimateViewer News. It's June 25th, 2017. And we're going to talk about the truth about unmasking of American citizens, why this is pretty simple, and how I mapped it all out on climateviewer.org. And there's a great article about it on climateviewer.com called New World Order Technocrats and the Surveillance State. I'm going to go through this pretty rapidly. All of the details are provided at the bottom of this. I've got references galore. You can go through them. Tons and tons of references. We're going to go through briefly all of this. And I want you guys to paint a picture for you about the bull crap we're hearing in the legacy media, in the fake news mainstream media of the olden times. Now, I already laid this out pretty well in a 9-minute video entitled 5 Eyes of the Deep State, Stone Ghost Exposed. So if you want to get the very short version of this, check that out. Link in the details. Also linked in the details of this article we're going to go over. And let's first start with the map. So over here on climateviewer.org, you can see that got a lot of maps over here. Pretty fun stuff. But on the sidebar, to get to it, if you haven't been here before, there's a big plus in the corner here. When you hover over, it says add. Click on that. And then over here in the sidebar, under government and surveillance, you will see Five Eyes Stone Ghost Surveillance Network, submarine underwater communication cables, Department of Homeland Security fusion centers, and UAV drones over the USA. Now, when you load these up, there's a little tree over here. Normally, they'll be expanded by default, and you can actually go through the entire list of map markers currently visible. And if you click on any of them, it will fly you there, like the Joint Defense Facility at Pine Gap, which is in the middle of the Australian desert. And this is a multi-agency NSA, CIA place in the middle of freaking nowhere. Alice Springs in the middle of nowhere. There you go. Dead center of Australia, miles away from everything. And what you'll see is that what I've done is I've combined all of the, there is, what's up, Weather Mafia? Yeah, we got real-time cloud cover on here. That's all of that stuff's up here in the live section. Everything up here labeled live. When you click it, it is pulled live from the internet. For cloud cover, I would use the satellites. I've got the entire EU MEETSAT, which is the European side of things. And then over here, corrected reflectance, all the rest of these are the NASA side. I should probably better organize that and just put all of these into a NASA folder. But yeah, they're in there, brother, man. And some of those are controlled by the date switcher. So be sure to click the date up there for the NASA layers. I'll be adding dates to some of this other stuff later. Too much to do, too little time, brother, man. So we're down here in the surveillance section, and what you can see real quickly is why do I have, Australia, all the way out here in the ocean? What do all these red dots have in common, aside from, being an Illuminati looking eyeball, all seeing eye thing that we see on our dollar bill? Now, a lot of us know that. Thank you, Flight Risk. I appreciate that, man. Dude, I started programming this 3 years ago, and I'm telling you, I did not know how to write a web, any code. And all of this website you're seeing here is just from being hard-headed, diligent, and learning to code. Every one of you guys can do this. I mean, you can learn to code and make websites, I promise. Just devote an hour or two a day and hold your breath. So anyway, so these were originally my Google Earth files, and I converted them to other formats. But regardless, you can see the global scale of this, and when you see all the drones as well, you realize that we're pretty much in a surveillance state already, and that when it comes to let's just go straight to the meat and potatoes tonight. The unmasking of American citizens, how does it work? And it basically goes like this. There's a revolving door between the UK and USA, and it's called the Five Eyes. I started first talking about Ozcan Zuckus in 2008. So this was before Snowden. You can go check my Twitter at Resonated, REZN8D. And you'll see that I found out about this thing, and I was like, wait a minute, there's an agreement between the Ozcan Zuckus, the Five Eyes, which is Australia, New Zealand, Canada, UK, and US. So these 5 countries make up the Anglosphere, and they basically extend it to the 9 Eyes and the 14 Eyes. And then there's a thing called SIGINT, Seniors Europe, SSE. Anyway, regardless, what do all these have to do with each other? Well, they're information sharing networks. And basically, if they want to spy on an American citizen, they call one of their buddies, and their buddies do it for them. So if you want to spy on an American citizen, they request, the information on that citizen from the UK, GCHQ. Let's go to GCHQ. Let's go look at it. Pretty fancy building, guys. You gotta see this thing. Look at this spaceship looking building. GCHQ right here. There you go. That's your British dollars at work. Nice little photo of it there as well. And GCHQ will spy on the American citizens, and then they send it back to the NSA, the CIA, via a network called Stone Ghost. All one word. Now, this Stone Ghost network, I never really had a name for it before. And this is like the hardest hitting stuff that I have on my website. I talk about a lot of things on ClimateViewer.com. For the last year or two, I've been talking a lot about geoengineering and, cloud seeding, things like that. But this is one that really, I think a lot of people don't understand. And this is the revolving door right here. How does America spy on you? They use the GCHQ. And that's really, since it's documented, why would they even argue about it on the TV? We know how it works, that they basically can sell you out. Boom. There you go. So why is this important? Well, this Stone Ghost network, everybody wants to talk about Russian collusion in the election. And I'm here to tell you that nobody's really looking at this from like the reality of the situation, because there is a Stone Ghost network which connects all of the Five Eyes, and you can see them here. It's a lot of facilities. Let me turn I'm going to turn the drones off for now, just so we can cut it down, and I'm going to put this thing on black so it's a little easier to see. But that's a lot of facilities so far. And if you get in here a little closer, you'll see that there's even more when you get towards Washington, D.C. There's all the major ones around Washington, D.C. that are, big time. George Bush Center for Intelligence, the CIA HQ, National Maritime Intelligence Center, the Defense Intelligence Agency headquarters, the Pentagon, obviously, Beltsville Information Management Center, but you never heard of that. NSA headquarters, obviously, Dorsey Road Warehouse. Whoa, hold on to your pants. That's an interesting one. Friendship Annex. I do's my research, people. I do's my research. So all of this together sold for $3,000 a month. And that's how that's how Russia can hack all of this simultaneously. Because if you build a network that shares all of the information of the Five Eyes, then for as little as $3,000 a month, a Canadian Navy spy sold the information from the Stone Ghost Network. Here it is. This is a quote straight from the article. References right there. While there, he worked on a system called the Stone Ghost, said CBC reporter Rob Gordon. It's a computer system that links the Five Eyes. The Five Eyes are the United States, Britain, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. All their information is shared on the Stone Ghost computer. And he's referring to it as a computer, but whatever. It's a network. It's a network of computers. So Stone Ghost is like the most secret internet connection on the internet, period. And they sold it out for, he was paid between $2,800 and $33,000 a month. And any secrets that Russia wanted, all Five Eyes were gladly giving them. So one bad apple can spoil a bunch, truly. It gets worse. So then all of this data on the Stone Ghost Network gets shared in raw format to Israel. So while they're bitching and moaning about unmasking citizens, they're not acknowledging the fact that they were all unmasked when they were sent to Israel. I mean, there's a whole Israeli memoranda of understanding signals intelligence agreement. You can read it yourself by clicking the link. But yeah, and this was provided the Guardian by Edward Snowden. So they don't mask them when they send it to Israel. So why are we surprised when they're unmasking it here? Well, when they send it from the GCHQ through the Stone Ghost Network to rat on a president, don't be surprised. Angela Merkel was pretty surprised when she found out that the Five Eyes were spying on her. So if they'll spy on her, you don't think they'll spy on Trump? You don't think they'll spy on anybody? You're crazy. They're spying on everybody. I'm checking out the chat real quick over here. Sweet. All right. So, and then Stone Ghost for hire by U.S. corporations. And then, there was actually a series of hearings in the European Union before it really was the European Union, on the echelon system. And basically they said, we think that the NSA is using all of its stuff to benefit U.S. corporations. And of course we said, no, we would never do that. But in reality, many separate cases of them using the NSA and CIA to spy on other countries, screw them out of corporate deals for people like Boeing, Raytheon, the list goes on. Now here's the worst one. Stone Ghost versus WikiLeaks. Now, a couple of you guys heard about this. Stone Ghost, the entire apparatus of the Five Eyes versus Glenn Greenwald, Julian Assange, and WikiLeaks. They hired defense contractors, H.B. Gary, Federal, Palantir, Barrico, made sock puppets called persona management software, tried to ruin their reputations, attacked U.S. journalists. So this is the U.S. military actually attacking Glenn Greenwald, American citizen journalist, and it's legal. Because in the NDAA just recently, they reauthorized the ability for the U.S. military to lie to the American public. So if anybody is trying to influence the election, you could bet your sweet ass it's the U.S. military. Hearts and minds, baby. Mind war. So these guys have these social media sock puppet trolls, cyber war intelligence apparatus to destroy, discredit, shut down. Why? Because in the WikiLeaks debacle, the very first one, Chelsea Manning, Bradley Manning, whatever you want to call them, when that got released, there was this one WikiLeaks cable that just stood out to me. And this is the flight risk. Is there any good shit happening? It's happening right now in front of your fucking face, man. I don't know what exactly in the hell you're over there talking about, but the stuff I'm talking about right now really matters. So you should pay attention. So this is the important part. And I want everybody who is an activist against Monsanto to pay close attention to this part. Stone Ghost and Monsanto versus anti-GMO activists in Paris. This is the WikiLeaks cable, and basically goes like this. Activists in Paris don't like Monsanto corn, Mon 810. And this State Department cable says we should be prepared to seed on cultivation because of our considerable planting seed business. And we should not be prepared to seed on cultivation because of our considerable planting seed business in Europe. So, and they're talking about our. Now, I mean, just the word our, this is written by a State Department person. And we're not screwed, flight risk. Dude, we are winning left and right, bro. Everything is going okay. Things are fixing themselves. People are getting educated. Things are constantly evolving. I see winning everywhere. You just have to look, man. We're winning right now. Nobody's stopping me from saying this shit. Pay attention. Country Team Paris recommends that we calibrate a target retaliation list that causes pain across the EU, since this is a collective responsibility, but also focuses in part on the worst culprits. The list should be measured rather than vicious and must be sustainable over the long term, since we should not expect an early victory. This is the U.S. State Department in a cable on WikiLeaks saying that they will target activists in Paris with the NSA, the Five Eyes, and the Stone Ghost Network, all of that, in order to push Monsanto product into Paris. So what I'm saying to you is, if you are anti-Monsanto, then apparently you're anti-Five Eyes, you're anti-American. They will use the NSA, the Five Eyes, all of it to shut your ass down, just like they tried to shut Glenn Greenwald down, just like they're saying that they will target activists in Paris and focus in part on the worst culprits and a retaliation list that causes some pain across the EU. So if our State Department will use the Five Eyes, the Stone Ghost, all of that snooping, spying capability, if they will use all of that to get at you, to find out everything about you, to disarm you, to destroy you, to create sock puppets that go after your family, your reputation, ruin your job, ruin you so that nobody will listen to you, because at the end of the day, they work for Monsanto, as proven in this WikiLeaks cable, which you cannot take it back. So the Five Eyes is really the deep state that everybody talks about, the larger picture, the Five Eyes of the New World Order, as I like to call it, or the 14 Eyes. And there's the bigger list, the 9 Eyes, Denmark, France, Netherlands, Norway, and 14 Eyes, Germany, Belgium, Italy, Spain, Sweden. That's why I say Angela Merkel was pretty pissed off when she found out that the Five Eyes were spying on her, as she is a 14 Eyes member. So even in the little membership organization, they spy on each other. I guess that's always the way it's going to be. So when Trump was like, they were wiretapping me, it's true, because they wiretap everybody all the time, all same time. So we won't get into this timeline here at the bottom. I'm going to flesh that out a little better another day. But the point I'm trying to make here is this. With all of this apparatus, There really is no secrecy. And the reason why is because all of these organizations, they, basically hoard something called 0 days. And 0 days are viruses and malware that no antivirus or anti-malware software creator on the planet has a definition for. So what they do is they hoard, like the CIA Vault 7 release that just came out. They hoard all of these vulnerabilities or exploits for computers so that they can break in and spy on people. The problem with that is that people are putting their health records, their lives into computers, which will never, ever be secure. So, the point I'd like to make about the unmasking of American citizens is it's a joke. None of it was masked to begin with when it was floating around the Stone Ghost network. They trade in this stuff like, it's power. Everybody knows that information is power. Therefore, if bankers, Monsanto, anybody can influence people who have access to this network, then they have access to power. If people at Monsanto can go, these people that are trying to, that are on Facebook who are talking all this junk about our, GMO crops, we need to shut them down. Call your boy who's at the defense contractor's office. He has access to the Stone Ghost network. He has a, big enough security clearance. Have him type up, what is Jim Lee's address? I don't go around shooting my mouth off about Monsanto every day. It's just not my thing. I think other people are doing a fine job at that. But regardless, that's how it works, guys. Bankers, Illuminati, Trilateral, Bilderberg, Soros, Koch brother, any one of those guys, top dollar, they know a guy who knows a guy who hangs out in a defense contractor's office, can go type in your name, address. Hell, I know a troll on YouTube who actually social engineered a chick who was in a police office, and he was basically, he was harassing her while loving her, and he could go, what is this YouTube activist's name and address, and get it. So he could pretend like he was a hacker on the internet, but in reality, he had social engineered somebody who worked in a police station who had access to the police station's network. That's the deep state. Bad apples, easily movable, socially engineerable, just bad people. And that doesn't mean that all the people that work at all these facilities are bad people. Most of them have the good intention in their heart to try to protect and serve, and I believe that. But it's damn near impossible to weed out the bad apples. And apparently, I'll go back to this. For the monumental price of only $3,000 a month, Russia hacked the whole effing thing. And that's called social engineering. So they found a guy, they had some dirt on him. They said, hey, look on the bright side. We'll pay you $3,000 a month. You tell us good secrets. And it's all documented. So this is not even a conspiracy. This is not a surprise. Everybody should know this by now. I think it's just unbelievable. Now I can understand that, all of the legacy media, mainstream media, fools, they have, no interest in telling this story. But I'm surprised that people like, even the Trump administration who are currently under investigation, I cannot believe that they wouldn't go hold this up in front of everybody and go, see, I was wiretapped. Look, shit, watch Jim's video. It's 9 minutes long. Explains the whole damn thing. Stone Ghost. Put the link up. It's at climateviewer.com/New World Order. Links are in the details of the video. And for this map, all I do right here is there's a share button. If you click the share button, I've kind of improved this thing now. It'll give you a link to share the map where you're currently centered, a short version of the URL. You can even embed it on your own website. How's that for fancy? So proud. Anyway, you just copy this link right here, put it over here. There it is in chat. You guys click that link right there. And if you click the link, it should take you right over there and you should see exactly what I'm looking at right now. Tell me if I failed. Because if you did, then I'll go rework the code, man. Bugs. It should work, though. I've really beat that one up. It works pretty good. Woohoo! So that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. There's a lot of research on this map that you could do. Fly yourself around, get familiar with your local fusion center, turn the drones on. When you get to the drone section, be sure to click on Know Your Drones right here. And when you go there, click on that bad boy, and there's a special little treat in there, just on that marker, where you can fly through and check out all of the drones. I'm a dork. A lot of these map markers, almost all of them, I've coded little web pages in them. So they have pictures, they have links, Predator, Predator B, MQ Reaper, Hunter, Shadow, handheld, throwable one. Ooh, look, chunk it. Woo, go spy on somebody. Scan Eagle, vertical takeoff and landing, fancy stuff. We're in the age of robots, people. So, little spy, Shrike, quadcopter. Pretty soon they'll have laser beams on these damn things. Thank you very much, Sunshine On. Love my map. My map is my fave. This is my heart. I put more time into this than anything else. And I do need to go work on weather mod history. So weathermodificationhistory.com. Still love you, Dominic. I'm going to be working on that very shortly. I'm in the middle of working on a social media thing, open source thing. Don't want to show any surprises tonight, but anyway, that's the map. Check it out, guys. It's over there under government and surveillance. Many other categories to check out. Just real quick, let me check the readers. We had a lot of storms coming through. I want to make sure I'm not going to get slammed tomorrow. Looking good. Looking like a sunny day in South Carolina. You guys, not so much. That looks rough. All right. So Oklahoma, Texas, gonna have a rough day tomorrow. All right, guys. Boy, I'm rambling now. Let's not do weather and NSA same time, although you can do all of that in one place at climateviewer.org. Over here on climateviewer.com, please check out the article. It is, if you get lost, it's down here at the bottom of the page, right about here. New World Order technocrats in the surveillance state. It's on the bottom of every single page. Also, check out Propaganda, the News, and Activism. It's pretty relatable. How many earthquakes are around Yellowstone today? Why don't we pull this over real quick? Let's see. I'll go check. Uno momento, por favor. Let's just put this guy right here. Put this guy right here. I'll put this thing right here. Put this over. There we go. Looking good, man. All right, so let's go check out the Yellowstone. I'm gonna hit clear the whole map off, and go to earthquake is, and we'll go 2.5 biggers. Looking pretty good. Where's the volcano? Turn that off too. Come on. And it'll take a year and a day today. Nice. That's pretty quick. All right, so Yellowstone Lake right here. See that? Let me make this a little bigger. That's Yellowstone Lake. There is the Yellowstone volcano. So we all know exactly where the hell it is. And all I did to do that is I went up here and I clicked on volcano and global volcanoes. You can see a list here. And then up here, I'm putting on earthquakes for today. And this is the USGS feed. I'm also going to turn on the Euromed earthquakes right here. CESEMEMSC. That's a mouthful. Now let's see what the difference is. Okay. As I suspected, we have a little bit of a debacle, and I want you guys to see this because I never show this stuff. It's been a while. I'm going to be doing some videos on this stuff in the near future, but check this out. Now, the USGS feed only showed a couple earthquakes, right? As you can see, it showed 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. See them? Look at what the European feed shows. Okay. And you got these two out here in left field. Still nowhere near the volcano. But that's a hellified cluster there, ain't it? Thoughts in the chat room. Oh, somehow we got lost there. So, yeah, the USGS is always that way. So, what I want you guys to start doing is if you're checking earthquakes, and this is why I say, you know, like a lot of people do this on a lot of places. I only trust my feeds because I can compare multiple feeds. So that's a big cluster of earthquakes there. And if you click on these, they'll show you, you know, here's the date on that 6/14, 6/13. I mean, these are not from today. So this actually goes back to 6/16, 6/24, 6/16. So this is showing them over a longer period of time. That's the main difference. Okay. I can probably do the same thing with the USGS. Let's see how close they get. They usually fail. So let's go close that off. And instead, let's go all month and see if they're even close. See, even when I put it on all month, they don't show them all. Do you see the difference? I mean, you have way more from the European feed regardless, is my point. Now, these do have the cool sizing and everything, but there you go. So that's how I do it. I usually compare it. I'll put the European feed on. Another great example of this is the fracking earthquakes down in Oklahoma. I haven't looked yet, but I'll guarantee you they're there. Look at this. So this is the fracking earthquakes in Oklahoma, and they're always there, and they're pretty much matching up with the USGs pretty well over here today. That's pretty nice. But you can see these are all related to fracking. Almost all of these earthquakes, if you go down and you put it on the satellite view, you can see the fracking wells. It's horrible. Horrible. Oh my God. I'm gonna bore the piss out of you guys by doing this. Anyway. So love you, Mina. Let me hang this thing up. I could go through and pick at earthquakes all day long, man. Yeah. That's a lot of earthquakes and volcanoes on the screen. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. Woo! My God, that's pretty. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Tons of fun. ClimateViewer.org. Share it with your friends. Make sure you create a custom map. Share it yourself. You can also like bookmark these things. So like pull it up to your bookmark and save a custom map yourself. So if you want to go hit just the earthquakes up real quick, share yourself a link. All right. So how many videos have you watched where we covered earthquakes, volcanoes, and the NSA all same time? All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys all hanging out with me again tonight. My links are over here on the sidebar down at the bottom about the app, my socials, ClimateViewer socials, and of course the GoFundMe and PayPal. If you guys appreciate what I'm doing, everything I do is advertisement free and open source, baby. It's on GitHub, damn it. So please continue to support me, and I will continue to make these videos. Hopefully we'll be doing the daily video pretty soon, but I still got a lot of coding to do, and it's summertime. So I hope you guys will go get out, hit the beach, hit the mountain, hit the trails. It's in to be out. Summertime, people. Get some sun on yourself. It's curative. And with that, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's going to get better. It's not. Love you, mean it.